Hi, my name's Gemma and I'm an Associate Solicitor in the Employment Law team at Wright Hassel. Today I'm just going to cover a couple of different types of leave because we've been receiving lots of different questions about the difference between parental leave, dependents leave and carers leave now that new entitlement came in April 2024. So up first, let's talk about parental leave. So parental leave allows employees to take time away from work to look after their child's welfare. So that could include things like just spending time with their children, potentially going on a family holiday or arranging to visit their relatives abroad. So there are lots of different options for that. Employees are entitled to 18 weeks parental leave for each child up to their 18th birthday. Now there are some eligibility criteria, so obviously the individual needs parental responsibility for that child and they currently have to have 12 months employment with their current employer in order to take that leave. Now the Employment Rights Bill is potentially looking at bringing that to a day one right for employees. It is currently unpaid as well, but employers can allow employees to take paid time off if they choose to do so. The leave must be taken in week blocks, so either a week or 2 weeks at a time, unless again employers allow their employees to take it in shorter periods or if a child has a disability. So next up is dependents leave, which is often confused with parental leave, but it's much more restricted in terms of the amount of leave that can be taken by an employee. So dependents leave is utilised by employees when they need to take time off work to deal with an emergency that involves a dependent. Now a dependent covers children like parental leave, but it also is wider and covers spouses, parents, partners, or someone that depends on you. Now looking at what an emergency might account for, that could be due to an accident, due to an elderly relative or from a child, or you need to pick them up from school. So it can cover a wide range of situations. In terms of the amount of time that employees can take for dependents leave, what generally is the principle is it's a reasonable amount of time off work. Now there's no legal definition for what reasonable accounts for, but it's generally thought to be 1 to 2 days off work, which enables them time to make arrangements for any longer care needs if they are required in the situation. Again, as with parental leave, dependents leave is unpaid unless an employer decides to allow pay for that. So finally, we'll look at carers leave, which is a new entitlement that came in earlier this year. So carers leave allows an employee to take time away from work to provide or arrange care for a dependent who has long-term care needs. So essentially an employee is allowed to take time away from work to look after someone who they provide care for. There are a number of reasons that an individual might need care. So that could be due to an illness or an injury, or care needs simply resulting from age or a disability. Now, the entitlement is to 1 week's unpaid leave during a 12-month period. So as with the other two types of leave, it's unpaid, though employers can opt to pay for the period that an employee takes off. And ultimately, this is a new benefit that employees are entitled to. So it can be taken in addition to parental leave and dependents leave, which will obviously depend on the circumstances, but is more limited. So this was just a very brief overview of those few types of leave and to cover off the entitlements. But if you do have any other questions that you have in respect to these types of leave, please do let the Employment Law team know. Or if you have any further questions that you'd like us to cover in these webinars, just get in touch.